Okay, let's roll right into our post race for tonight's 54th annual IRWIN Tools Night Race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And joining us right now is our race runner-up, Brad Keselowski. And Brad drove the number 2, worth 4 tonight for Team Penske. And Brad, certainly a 1-2 finish here for Team Penske tonight. I know you were trying to track down your teammate, but you know, as we spoke here just a minute ago, a big weekend for Ford Motor Company, Ford Racing, sweeping all 3 races here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and certainly your thoughts about your performance tonight and the strength shown by Team Penske.
Sure. Sorry, it was hot. That was a hard night. I'll tell you what. The first off, this place is the race pace is really brutal. And aggressive, and you know, with the cars having all the extra downforce this year, and the tires improving, and some of the new rules compounded by you know, grinding the track, and the track's high lane having a lot of speed. This is, I swear, it's just the most grueling race of the year. So it feels good just to complete it and be able to kind of look myself in the eye and know I gave it all I had, and you know, just wasn't enough. But I didn't fall out of the seat, so I'm damn near as proud as not falling out of the seat as I am anything else. But just a heck of a weekend for everyone at Team Penske. You know, all 3 drivers winning races this weekend. I think that's a testament to how bright the future is for Team Penske. And look for, you know, more big things to come in years to come, but certainly don't want to lose sight of tonight's accomplishments and accomplishments to date. You know, I feel like Joe and I both have 3 wins. We're entering the chase strong in a lot of different ways, and I think we're both legitimate threats to win a championship this year, and I'm proud of that. Along with the nationwide car and success they had last night, and then winning the Truck Series, just a huge weekend, not just for me personally, but for everyone at Team Penske. And hopefully we can keep that momentum rolling in weeks to come. But, you know, as far as tonight and the rest of it is concerned, running second is certainly something to be proud of. I'd love to have that one more position, but it just wasn't there. Every time I'd get close to Joey, I'd pick up a massive arrow push up off the corner, and you know, just couldn't do anything. I lost too much speed to really even do anything. I couldn't even get close enough to really do a bump and run. The last lap, I just dive bombed it in there on a prayer, and kind of hoping it would stick or he would slip or something would happen for me, and made it look cool, but it really wasn't that close. But still a really good night. I think our 2 cars were really, really equal, and whoever got out front and got the clean air first was going to win the race, and Joey was able to do that.
Thank you, Brad. We'll take questions now for Brad Keselowski. If you have one, raise your hand. Let's go right here with Hunter. We'll go to Jay, and then Seth.
Hey, Brad. It's Hunter Thomas from the fourthturn.com. Can you kind of talk about that momentum from Penske Racing, you know, rolling into the chase here coming up, and then how much maybe information the 22 and the 2 teams actually share on a race weekend?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the momentum kind of speaks for itself when you're running well. You know, I don't really respectfully want to get into any of the other details about, you know, our teams and what they do. You know, it's kind of proprietary to our group, and something that we're proud of and want to keep our cards close to our chest. But, you know, like I said, I think the results speak for themselves, and we just need to keep rolling. We've got 2 teams that are, you know, legitimate contenders by really every stretch of the imagination. So, you know, I'm very proud of that.
Let's go over here to the far right to Jay, and then front row, Seth.
Jay Pennell with Fox Sports. Kind of along those same lines, you know, you guys obviously are working real close together, but when it comes down to this thing, you're going to have to battle Joey Logano for this championship. At what point do you guys focus on, you know, keeping those cards close to your chest as the 2 team as opposed to Team Penske, and how are you guys going to approach that once you get into the chase?
Yeah, I think that's not really something I want disclose in the media. That's between Joey and I, and we've developed a pretty good friendship, and certainly we're both hungry to be winners, though, and there's a balancing act there.
Answer the question. Help us out. We need information.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was.
Matt, the next question is, what was the setup under your car?
I don't know, but it wasn't good enough.
But yeah, I mean, that's something that I think is I'd like to just keep between Joey and us.
I'll take one more for Brad, and then we'll hear from Matt as well. Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, Brad, just Seth Livingstone, NASCAR News Service. Obviously, you're both going in to the chase. Obviously, you've been qualifying great. You got a lot of momentum. But as you look to the chase, what do you think your strength is in the chase? What do you think Joey's strength is in the chase?
I think we ran really well at Loudon. I think that's a track we're very much looking forward to going back to, and hopefully able to continue that success. And Joey is really, really strong on the 1.5 miles, and I would expect him to be good at all of those. And it's hard to say because going into Kentucky, I would have said that Joey's style would have been better than mine, and we ran so well there, and he certainly ran well too. But it takes everything. It takes the car setup, it takes the driver, it takes the pit crew, and the pieces that the guys back in the shop are doing. It takes all those pieces to be a contender, and we're out of the same shop, but it's easy for one of those variables to be different, whether it's the car setup or pit crew, even if the actual car builds are the same, and just small details make all the difference in the world. So it's hard to say that either one of us has an advantage, and I think we're heading into it pretty equal.
Let's hear now from our third-place finisher, and that's Matt Kenseth, and he drove the number $20 General Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And, Matt, certainly you gave it pretty much all you had out there tonight. You looked like you were, just really giving it. And just talk about your run out there tonight. Certainly, I know you'd like to got the win, but a real strong showing for you tonight as you were trying to defend that race title here you got here last summer.
Yeah, I felt like we finished a little bit better than we ran. There was some runs where we were pretty competitive, especially at the end of the runs, but I wasn't very good at all in traffic. I was just, it was really hard for me to negotiate traffic and do the things that we needed to do. So at the end there, I just figured we'd try to stretch it out a little bit and hopefully hold those guys on tires off, but they cleared everybody way too fast in that restart and just did all we could to hang on. Overall, it was a good night. I didn't feel like we quite had the speed, what we quite needed to win the race tonight, but we tried our best to put ourselves in position to do it and ended up with a decent finish.
We'll open it back up for questions now for Brad or Matt. Come over here to Bob, and then Stan, and then we'll go to press box. Bob, Stan, press box.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Brad, were you frustrated with Joey at all at one point? There seemed to be one point where you really kind of looked like you were almost bumping him a little bit.
Maybe Matt was. I saw a couple instances where Matt might have been, but no, I didn't have any moments. We were just racing hard. One time I rubbed into him a little bit. I accidentally, but it was just minor, so I didn't think there was anything there.
Over here, far left, Stan, and then we'll go up to press box. Go ahead.
Hey, Matt.
It's frustrating everybody that passes me.
Go ahead, Matt.
13 letting off the gas.
You talked some about how you felt, and it seemed like you were speaking in a physical way, how difficult this track was. How mentally demanding was this race? And was this the most physically and mentally demanding race of the year?
I mean, I think so. I don't know. It's probably a better question for Matt. He's the grizzled veteran over here. Grizzled. But I think it was, again, it's the toughest race that I've ever been a part of. The pace is just grueling. And mentally, the lap traffic and the top and the bottom lane just keeps playing on you. And, a lot of laps, too, 500 laps. It's tough. And, the mental side always comes into play in racing. But tonight, probably to its most extreme.
Let's go up to the press box for questions. Go ahead, please.
You want to answer that one, Matt?
Chris Knight, Catchers.com. Brad, Do you think that the competition underestimates what Joey and the 22 team can do going into this chase? Do you feel like that he has a legitimate shot to win this championship?
Well, I think he has a tremendous shot at winning the championship, and I know I don't underestimate him, but I don't want to speak for my competition and what they think. I let them answer for themselves.
Other questions? Go ahead, Press Box.
Brad, I know you pride yourself on being a thinker, and I'm wondering at this point, how much have you been thinking about the chase and how to approach it versus, the remaining regular season races? Are you looking at strategy and at this point, it would seem like it's a Penske versus Hendrick kind of showdown. Do you view it that way?
No, I mean that to date in the season, I think it's been that way. But I think we've all got our eyes on Matt's group and all the Gibbs cars, and I just don't see a whole season going by without them having a dominant race car one section at a time. And I think we're all fearful that will happen at the chase when it counts the most. So certainly, I wouldn't say it's just Hendrick and Penske yet. But I'd let the chips fall where they may.
Any other questions upstairs? Come back downstairs. Anybody else for Matt? Right here, Hank Kurtz.
Hey, Matt, Hank Kurtz with AP. You said the other day that you don't believe you're in until you're in. Did that at all go into your thinking to stay out?
No, not really. I mean, it probably would have been a safer thing to pit, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you make split-second decisions. I feel like everything we do at JGR, all the teams, but, I know me and Jason, we prepare every week to try to win. And I felt like at that split second, that was our only shot to win the race. So no matter what the points are or, rewards are for winning, I mean, you always want to win. That's why we all do this. So at the time, I thought that was the best shot. I didn't even give points or the chase or anything, even a passing thought, to be honest with you. I was just trying to figure out how we could go win the Bristol Night Race.
Over here to Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Matt, can you talk about your battle with Joey? And with it being kind of so tough to pass, do you almost expect to be kind of run up into the wall in that situation? Yeah, I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He left me enough room and an extra, I don't know, 200 thousandths or so. With Joey, I was leading, and obviously he was faster. I felt like I could do pretty good in 3 and 4, and the top of 1 and 2 got real choppy. The rubber started piling up, and I wanted to be a little bit lower, and I got high up in the corner up there and got in that choppy rubber, and I slipped just a little bit, and that gave them momentum to get alongside of me. So once he's side by side off 2, you're pretty much going to get the shaft getting a 3 in the same way if it was the other way around. So, I mean, you pretty much know they're going to drive in and until they're clear and then slide up as far as they can. I mean, that's really the only way you can pass here right now. So no, he didn't. It was actually a really good move. It was really calculated. I did everything I could to make him not make it. I drove in as hard as I could too, but I couldn't get in any farther without running over the fence. So, we're just both doing everything we could to try to get up there for the win.
Let's go right down here to Matt.
Matt Weaver, PopularSpeed.com. Earlier, outside the infield care center, Eric had mentioned that maybe Bristol should consider doing a grinding on the bottom like they had done the top to even it out and maybe kind of work that bottom back in. Thoughts on that?
Sounds like a Brad question.
Well, I just don't think they should change the track at all. I think it was a mistake to do so, but it's not my decision to make.
But nothing on the bottom line, though?
No, we don't need to go grinding tracks. Handed it to a bunch of engineers and told them to make the bottom lane the fastest lane, and lo and behold, they screwed it up, made the highest lane the fastest lane. I'm shocked.
See? That's why I gave it to you.
He's a veteran. Go over here, Dustin.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. For either one of you, it seemed like Jamie McMurray was able to run a little bit lower groove than the top groove was the main groove. Did that surprise you that somebody was able to run like that, or did you have that type of? It seemed like it helped him part of the race, at least. Was that something a little different? Because I think everybody was anticipating the top. You just had to be up at the top groove instead of maybe more of a middle groove.
The little bit I was behind him. I was behind him for a little while there when he was leading, and
I never saw him really run what I would call the bottom. I mean, you couldn't have put a car outside of him on corner entry in the center. He would come off the corner real low. He was turning pretty good, so he could get down in the middle of the corner. But it looked like his car was too tight to finish the corner up top. So you can move around there a little bit off the corner depending on what your car is doing. But he was still using up the whole racetrack. It's not like there was a lane to, like he was running a lane where he could pass somebody if they were running on the top. So. It seemed like the rubber to me changed the track a lot. It would build up and then pile up, and then a caution would clean it off, and that you really tried to find the edge of that for the grip. At least I had to with my car.
Go ahead. Any other questions? Right over here, Stan. We'll finish up right here.
Okay, Matt. Stan Creekmore, RPM Tonight.com. That pass, Logano, you're coming off turn 4. He jumps right in front of you. From a television standpoint, it looked like you had to hold your breath and maybe let off just a little bit to keep from hitting him. What was that final corner like for you on that pass?
Well, a lot of things happened pretty fast, so honestly, I'd have to go back and watch it. He passed me a couple times. The first time, we would have wrecked if I went to lifted, and if that would have been the last pass for the lift, or the lead I went to lifted, and we would have wrecked. So it was the earlier pass, I believe. He didn't have enough room there, and took the extra, 6 or 10 inches or whatever, and I had to get out of the gas there a little bit. But, again, he had a faster car, and, it's hard to. It's kind of hard to get alongside of somebody. When you get alongside them, it's almost impossible to clear them if the guy doesn't want to help you out a little bit. And obviously, when you're racing for the win, even with 100 to go, you're not going to roll over and let somebody go because you don't know what's going to happen. Even as much faster as they both looked than me when they passed me, we still ran them back down at the end of the run, and was close to getting close enough to at least have a shot. Almost got second back. So you don't know what's going to happen when you get inside your final fuel run. It's hard at a place like this to give much.
All right, Brad and Matt, thanks for putting on a great race here tonight, and good luck in Atlanta.